الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in His glorious book that وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, that I have only created men and jinn so that they worship me. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only reason that He has created us, He has made us, is that we worship Him subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to test us that if we will be able to pass the test that He has given, or to test us that if we will be able to achieve the goal that He has set in front of us, He has put all of us in different conditions. Some people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given a lot. Some people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has restricted His blessings, His ni'mah from other people. Some people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given all the players everything that they can enjoy with. The sukoon of the families, the husbands, the wives, the children. Some people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just has stopped all of that for some time. Some people, they have their fathers, their parents, their mothers, their sisters, their wives, their children, they're not letting him do the things that he's supposed to do or she's supposed to do. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put everybody in different conditions. But what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking from all of us, that we have to remain consistent. We have to remain in a state that's in connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what He wants from us. And reason that everybody is in a different state is just that He wants to test us. That's all why He has put us in all of these different states. Right? So the person who has all the blessings, who like outwardly, if we see him or see her, he or she has everything that a person can think of. They have their families, they have all the enjoyment, they have health, they have wealth. But then again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see if that person remains attached to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala in that condition. And then there are other people who, for some time, like their children get sick, for example, they're not, they want to get married, but they don't get married for some time, for some reason. Again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to check, how does that person remain attached to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that condition as well. So there are two things that are required from all of us. One is being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we are always thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the blessings that He has given us. So if we realize that for example we got up in the morning in a good state, we should thank Him. For example, if we get back to our homes from long journeys, then we should thank Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. For example, if we reach at a certain place with afiyah, then we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of that. If we go out of our houses and we drive, and then we come back home in good state, then we should thank Him. If our children are at school and they come back from school in safe and sound, then we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If our husbands or our wives are out and then they come back home in safe and sound and good state, then we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should always realize the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all the times. And then when we realize that these are indeed the blessings of Allah, then we should always thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the state of shukr. This is a state of gratitude, right? And if we start looking into ourselves, we start looking around us, we start looking into our lives, there are huge, many things that we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for, right? So for example, even if we get something that we feel that's not good, right? For example, if we get a cut on our hands while cutting fruit, for example, in the kitchen. I mean, we could have cut our whole hand, right? We have only cut our finger. So still, this is a blessing from Allah, right? That we have not cut all of our hand, it's only the small finger. Or if it's just a small cut, it's not like cutting any vein. So, if we start looking into all of the things, that we'll always find something that we have to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about, right? And when somebody is grateful to Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has His promise to him that la in shakartum la azidannakum, that if you thank me, then I will certainly increase you in my blessings, right? So this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's promise, that la in shakartum la azidannakum, that if you thank me, I will increase you in your blessings. And this is an equation, like it's a principle that's given in the Quran. That's haqq, that's true. So always try to find things that you have to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about. And you will always find those things, right? You will always find those things. If you don't have children, at least you have a husband or you have a wife, right? If you have one children, and you want, at least you have one. If you have three, you have mashallah a lot, right? If you have a headache, alhamdulillah, you're still not paralyzed. If your children get hurt and get sick, alhamdulillah, they're still alive, right? So always find things that you should feel the sense of gratitude in your heart for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never complain. Never ever complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. SubhanAllah, people talk about like this weather. Weather is bad, and weather is this, and weather is that. It's too hot, it's too cold. SubhanAllah, weather is not doing anything of its own. It's by the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what's the point of complaining about weather, for example? Right? And all the other things, if somebody comes and asks us how are we doing, we are okay, not too bad. These are the kind of responses that we give sometimes. I mean, what is stopping us to say that alhamdulillah, I'm doing very good. I can't thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enough for all the blessings that He has given me. Right? So we should always thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should try not to complain about anything. Absolutely anything. Right? There's anything, any state that we are in, if we feel that that's bad, know that we could have been in a worse state. It's far better than many other people around us. Right? It's far better than many other people around us. So once people do shukr, number one is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase them in their blessings. That is one of the promises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's true. And the second thing is that it also writes our name in the paradise. The reward of doing shukr is paradise. Right? The reward of doing shukr is paradise, and that is one of the goals that we all have. We all want to achieve this eternal state of the neighborhood of the prophets, of Anbiya and Awliya and of course Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's all what we are looking for. That is why Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he always used to make that dua. Allahumma inni as'aluka al-jannah wa a'udhu bika min nar. That, oh Allah, I ask you of paradise, and I seek refuge from the hellfire. So that's one of the places that we all are looking for. And once somebody does shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the blessings that He has given us, then the reward of that is paradise. Right? And then one thing that people normally forget about is that the blessings are not only of this dunya. Blessings are also of the akhirah. Right? So if somebody, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them tawfiq that he should get up and pray, right? For example, Fajr or Dhuhr or Asr or Maghrib and Isha or any of the other voluntary prayers, that is from the tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should also do shukr for all of these blessings as well. Right? So once somebody is done with his Fajr prayer, for example, he should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with Alhamdulillah. Allah, thank you so much for giving me tawfiq that I just prayed my Fajr. If somebody does his Dhuhr, he should get up and say, oh Allah, thank you so much that you gave me tawfiq to do the Dhuhr prayer. Right? There's so many people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give them tawfiq to pray. Right? If you see your children just, for example, they are reading Quran, right, and you feel happy about it, once you see that, you should say, Alhamdulillah, oh Allah, thank you very much that you have given my son or my daughter tawfiq that he or she is reading Quran. If you see them praying, you should say Allah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, thank you so much that you have given them tawfiq that they were able to pray. Right? So shukr, the blessings are not only of this dunya. Blessings are definitely of this dunya, but more so they're of the akhirah. Right? They are the eternal blessings. All the blessings of the dunya are going to go away with our death. But all the blessings of the akhirah are there to remain. So they are more deserving that we should do shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about them. Right? So we also normally tend to forget about that. We do all of these things, right? We know that this is from the tawfiq of Allah. Sometimes the people who realize that this is from the tawfiq of Allah, yet they forget to do shukr about these things to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They do their dhikr, they do their muraqabah, they do their prayers, they do everything, but at the end of the day they forget to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about all the tawfiq that He subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them to do all of that. So we should be very, very careful about all of these things. We should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything that He has given us, of everything from this dunya and everything from the hereafter. And as I said, we should not only do shukr to the things that we feel like blessings, but we should also do shukr of the things that we think that might not be blessings from their outside, right? But it could have been worse. Right? So inshallah, when we do shukr about those things, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put the names of these people in the category which is called shukur, which is a superlative degree of people of shukr. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِيَ الشُّكُورِ. that there are very few of my people who are actually shukur. Shukur are the people who always find good things in everything that they get from Allah. On the day of judgment, there will be somebody will call that where are the Hammadun? Right, and there will be a group of people who will stand up, and it will be asked that enter the paradise, and it will be asked who are Hammadun, and then the Sahaba were told that these are the people, right, who do excessive praise of Allah. Excessive praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in each and every state that they are in. They never find faults in Allah. They never complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about anything. Any state that they are into, they always find good things. So today that people are in different states. Right? Some people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put them in a different state than the other people. And people feel that they are in a very bad state. And it might be true. I'm not saying that people are not in a state that they feel bad about it. Right? They are. But again, that it could have been worse. And we should try to find good things in those states. And then thank to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about all those good things. And then, once we do that, and if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just think about it. Just think about it, right? If there is a small kid, for example, and his father, he gives him, like say, $10 every day. And one day, this father does not have those $10. And this kid, he always says thank you to his father whenever he gives him $10. And one day, for example, this father does not have $10 in his pocket. He only has one, right? Or maybe 50 cents. And he still gives that to his son, and his son, just feeling about that, you know what, my father always gives me $10. Today he's not giving me 10, but 1 or 50 cents, right? When he still comes back and say, thank you, my dad. Thank you very much. Just think about the state of that father. How happy he will feel in his heart that my son still hasn't forgotten about all the favors that I've done on him. Today I'm not able to give him that, but he's still saying thank you, realizing that. And although Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we cannot compare that with Allah, because Allah has all the treasures, it will never happen that He will have anything less than what He had yesterday. But just to test His people, He may give them 50 cents instead of $10 one day, right? Or for a few days, just to test them. Because this life is all about testing people. That if they're still connected to Allah, or they're not connected to Allah. What was all that thank you about? Was that about that connection with Allah was about for the blessings, or was that connection with Allah was that for because of the true love that they had in their heart for Allah? So always find good things in everything. Always try to find good things in everything. And inshallah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He says that عَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Sometimes people feel that's bad for them, actually it's good for them. اللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah knows, you don't know. Right? And inshallah, even if those things are something that might be so-called bad for us, but just by being grateful to Allah, by thanking Him for all the blessings that He has given us, right? Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will change that state, will change that condition that's around us, right? That we don't feel good about, and just by being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will inshallah change that state, and will change that with something that we all will feel good about, inshallah. Okay. So this is something that we all need to realize, and we all need to think about, right? And we all need to practice on. And inshallah ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of the barakah of all of this, will inshallah give us the treasures of this dunya, and also the treasure of the hereafter. Wa akhiru da'wana, and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. So inshallah, let's do our normal dhikr. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Salawat.